I'm going to give you quick critiques on your narratives. So we'll start here with Jessica's. And going through the images, nice formal compositions. You know, there's nice movement, repetition, curvilinear lines, and flow to the images. Feels like a pretty, almost in many ways, a simple story about making a ceramic piece on a wheel. But like I said, the photographs are done formally, but the story is very simple, straightforward, and I really didn't ask for anything, you know, more complex than that. You know, this, in my opinion, if I think about big terms of art, you know, I don't know if we're getting to, you know, sort of art, because to me art is a new revelation. But again, that's not what I asked for in this. I asked you to explore a narrative, and this successfully explores narrative and builds on each other and tells a story, and the compositions are well composed. So I think the grayscale probably helps it, unifies it, and helps create another flow. So I'm going to move on. All right, we're looking at Leslie's next, and we'll start here. You know, and again, composition is nice. The grayscale, it seems like a lot of people went for grayscale on here, and the grayscale imagery here is dealt with well. I like the backlighting and the foreground information. Nice interaction, you know, here with the child and the viewer, the camera. You know, but you did a really good job of dealing with the light, and that can be challenging if you don't understand your camera and understand how it meters, and obviously you do. And you know, this is a nice dramatic image. So, all right, so you know, again, we have a nice story here, having some ice cream, well composed, nice black and white imagery. You know, thinking in terms of grand art, revealing new information. You know, I'm not sure if we get there, but it is well done, well composed, well executed. And as I said, you know, that's what we're going for in this work. So, all right, I'm going to move along here. And next we're going to look at Janelle's images. Again, grayscale. Again, well composed. Again, you know, well executed. You know, this one zooms in. Seems to be... See, now Janelle's pushing me here. She's giving me something I didn't expect at the end. And here we have this sort of you know, dead bird. And you know, it starts out you know, pretty simple. You know, front porch. I mean, simple in some ways. The composition is more complex. And you know, beers, cigarettes, which could just be a nice afternoon on the porch if one enjoys smoking and drinking. And you know, then zooming in on that texture, and we start to see, you know, thinking story and narrative wise, this looks to be a little bit of foreshadowing. You know, this almost looks just like a nice composed image, but it does lead me up to, you know, exploring something more, and I end up with this dead bird, and I get the sense, going back to this image, that it's like murder. So, you know, this one I think pushes me a little bit more, gets a little bit more complexity in the structure of it, is well composed, is well executed, and you know, I appreciate that. But I'm going to move on for, you know, I want to spend more time critiquing people's final image efforts. All right, we have a color series here. Work, tables, computers. You know, again, nice top formal crop training. You know, composition in photography. If you've got a sense of composition in photography, you know, it can, in some ways, be easy. All right, so again, another nice composition here. We're you know, I'm seeing a little something different. Like here, I'm thinking work, but now I start to see Mickey Mouse, and I see planning. You know, and here the planning is moving in the foreground of books. So nice thinking compositionally, and then the packing, and then ready to go. So, you know, another well-executed narrative. Again, I'm not sure if this pushes me into this art and reveals something new to me, but certainly does tell a story, gives me images. And you dealt with color. You know, I said, you know, if you got a sense of composition, photography can be somewhat easy. You also have to, if you deal with color, have a sense of color, which can be exceedingly challenging because so rarely does our world conform to a nice, harmonious color scheme. But you did a pretty good job here, Kate, of dealing with the color and the transitions and the compositions and creating a narrative out of it. So, good job. All right, I'm going to keep moving here. We're going to look at John's narrative. So I like the composition. I even like the off-kilter lines. It adds a little tension in me as a viewer. So I kind of am appreciating that. I do wish more was in focus, though. Like, I want the hand in focus. I'm not sure that anything is focused in this image. I like this image, though, actually quite a bit. I'm not sure, again, if anything is purely sharp, but I love this light pouring through this. It's just this line, this slit in the middle, and it, you know, kind of has a nice radiating sort of presence. And then we see the face. And again, the focus is back here, though. I want the focus here. And then I am looking in here, and I'm not sure if I'm seeing anything dramatic other than ladders and stuff. So now I think this is interesting because it took me a while to connect it, and actually I had to go back, zoom out to look at what was going on. The images are well composed. I think the grayscale works. I like here where you switch from the outside to the inside. It changes the narrative perspective and gets me thinking about, you know, you have a perspective, the first couple are from your perspective, then we move to this inside, almost like the shed has its own sort of perspective and its own sort of eye and aperture in this slit. So I really like this transition. I do wish things were a bit more in focus, but I also see like the softness here. I'm not sure what's this from. It must be light bouncing off the shed and then pouring into the lens, because I see a little bit of, you know, the aperture shape, but it's softer. So it's almost like an apparition. That's kind of interesting. So I think in some ways it's a simple story, but in other ways, how you use the light actually creates some challenges for me as a viewer, and you know, almost feels, you know, paranormal, kind of ghosty. I'm not sure if that's what you're going for, but I like that. I do wish, in particular, like these first two were sharper, and this one was sharper as well. Though I like this one and this one kind of soft as they are, because those are the images that kind of challenge me and push me and leave me with more questions. In the end, I think you've ordered it well, constructed it well, composed it well. Could pay a little bit more attention to focus. But, all right, good job, John. We're going to move along here. Do one more. And Kirby has presented me with both color version and a grayscale version. And, you know, so we'll look at the story here. I love the sense of drama you have, Kirby. I've seen that, you know, the characters that you created, I'm seeing in Project 1, I think in Project 2 as well, and then certainly in Project 3 here. And you have a great sense of character and drama and composition, and this, you know, high contrast, light dark, is very effective in the images. So and then this image where I'm pointing the gun at me at the end certainly gives a lot of tension to the viewer. Reminds me a little bit about, you know, the first Western, the Great Train Robbery, which is like 13 minutes or 15 minutes, the black and white, 1903, I think it was, first Western movie, and at the end, of this Western at the end. There's a train that comes up the screen, and it's, I guess, freaked people out when they first saw it because they weren't used to moving film. They ran out of the theater. Anyways, they got this gun, and it just adds, you know, this tension into me as a viewer. So, all right. So in color, I think it works. I also suspect it's going to work very well in grayscale. Maybe pushes that film noir feel a little bit further. Though I think in the end this can work either way, grayscale. I kind of like this image a little bit more in grayscale than I did in color. So, all right, I like the construct. I like the story. Definitely pushes me, gets me in that realm of art. In the end, it gets a little bit, you know, kind of. I guess in the end, like the gun pointing at me kind of becomes almost cliche in a sense. So, love that it's about the cat, though. All right, I don't know. No, there's a lot of good going on here. Well composed, good use of light, good sense of drama. You know, certainly command of the camera, command of building character. So, a lot I like here. So, all right, good job, Kirby. I'm gonna end this video here and do another one.